conditions include electronic monitoring. She can only leave her Blacktown home for authorised medical or corrections appointments and to do her shopping once a week. She can expect random visits from corrections officers. Elise Baker, NBN News.
Police are investigating whether a petrol bomb attack on a home in Sydney's west is linked to an alleged bikie kidnapping. The victim is still recovering from the alleged hostage ordeal as the Attorney-General looks into why her ex-partner was allowed bail.
A home set alight in the same neighbourhood where Cheyenne Lubeck lives. Detectives are investigating whether the firebombing has anything to do with allegations she was held hostage at the Gypsy Jokers bikie headquarters.
All I heard was the neighbours across the street saying, you know, get out of the house, get out of the house now, call 000.
A family of 4 was inside when it was doused in petrol. The father says he doesn't know why. Police are looking into whether the house was wrongly targeted.
Just yelling to get help and someone to call an ambulance. He seemed to be in a bit of shock, he didn't know what to do.
Oh, I can smell the fuel from here as soon as I open the door.
Cheyenne Lubeck says she feels safer now that her ex-partner Chad Hogg is behind bars, but is still recovering after being allegedly kidnapped, bashed and her head shaven during a 2-day ordeal.
Still very bit scared, trying to get over what has happened and move on and get a little bit of normality back into all of our lives, basically.
Chad Hogg will stay in jail until at least November, and now questions are being asked about why he was on bail after a previous alleged assault on the 22-year-old. 9 News has been told when more information was raised with police after the first alleged incident, they held serious concerns for Cheyenne Lubeck's safety, and they argued that Chad Hogg's bail should be revoked, but a magistrate disagreed. A domestic violence order was put in place to keep Cheyenne Lubeck safe.
Whenever people like that get out on bail, I understand public concern and often outrage.
Something that's going to be very hard for me to get over, but other women need to know that it's not okay.
2 people were killed when a powerful storm hit the UK and Ireland. A holidaymaker died when her caravan was blown off a cliff, while a man was killed by a falling tree. Wind gusts hit up to 165 kilometres an hour, forcing flood diversions and power cuts to hundreds of thousands of homes.
President Donald Trump has been handing out hot meals and hugs as he assessed the damage across America's flood-ravaged East Coast. Water levels are continuing to rise in North and South Carolina, 6 days after Hurricane Florence hit.
The Commander-in-Chief tries his hand at Consoler-in-Chief.
To the families who have lost loved ones, America grieves with you, and our hearts break for you.
Strolling in floodwaters of the Carolinas, almost a week after Hurricane Florence made landfall.
Our state took a gut punch, Mr. President, and our people are still reeling.
After being criticised for casually tossing paper towel after Hurricane Maria, the President today handing out meals and handing out hugs. Earlier reading from a prepared statement.
We will never forget your loss. We will never leave your side. We're with you all the way.
36 people have been killed by the storm, but with whole cities still cut off or underwater, that figure will certainly rise.
This event's not over. The rivers are still cresting, and so we still have a lot of work to do when it comes to the life safety and life sustainment mission.
Most of the water is now bound for South Carolina, where emergency teams are bracing.
Washington is with you. Trump is with you. We are all with you 100%, and we'll get through it.
In the United States, Charles Croucher, NBN News.
Now it's over to Gavin Morris with a quick look at our weather, and Gav, it was much cooler today.
Yes, that's right, much drier than the Carolinas, of course. A few coastal showers. They've been a little bit heavy, actually, throughout parts of the northern New South Wales coast. Nothing inland on offer there. Over the next couple of days, though, it's going to warm up. Bit chilly tomorrow morning, some frost and fog, particularly for the Hunter Valley, all burning off fine leading into the weekend. But another change on the way, moving through into early next week. All of your local weather details headed your way a little later.
Thank you, Gav. Ahead in the news, the big supermarket's milk levy to help drought-affected farmers.
And the remaining remains of a South Australian woman missing for 45 years finally found.
Australia, you'll save in every aisle, every day at Coles. Save on footy final favourites.
New to Down Down, Coles Bakery Jumbo Roll 6-pack with no artificial preservatives, just $3.
I always save money at Coles.
Coles Barbecue 1 kilo pack, now down to just $7.50.
That's a winner.
Red Rock Deli Potato Chips 165 grams, just $2.25. That's half price.
If you love to save,
I saved $21.68.
good things are happening to prices at Coles.
This is a surprise. Well, it's the part of a cut with the old man. I just realised I left my tools outside, mate.
I'll still be so too, Dad.
NDT is in all kinds of neighbourhoods, and it's more prevalent than ever.
This is an NDT, mobile drug test.
The next police car you see could be a mobile drug testing unit. MDT, there's no escaping it.
Alright, when your reactions are great, shape your technique, like Roger, like that, and when your technique is finally great, increase your speed, faster, and when you make that great, keep up your energy, and then do all of it again, and again.
Sports are better in 200 Hertz. Receive up to $1,000 cash back when you buy a participating Samsung 75-inch or 82-inch TV. Go home with a Samsung big screen today. Available at the following retailers.
Beautiful seaside village Old Bar comes alive this October long weekend for the annual Old Bar Beach Festival. Live music, amazing food, mega markets, hobbies and classic cars display, fireworks and so much more. It's an action-packed weekend of family fun.
The new Butterworth release is now selling at Cameron Grove Estate. This release offers a selection of large lots, corner blocks and level building sites. To find out more, visit camerongrovestate.com.au.
It's lights out at 40 Winks, as our stores have been preparing for the massive 40 Winks blackout sale. Come in now for dramatic reductions on big brands store-wide. But hurry, the 40 Winks blackout sale is on for this weekend only. 40 Winks, serious about sleep.
James Murray can help you organise the celebration you choose. From the service to flowers, printing, catering and more. James Murray Funerals, a celebration of life.
Woolworths has taken the extraordinary step of pulling sewing needles from the shelves in a bid to contain the fruit tampering saga. The supermarket giant has so far refused to stop selling strawberries in support of growers. There have been more than 100 contamination cases, an apple and a mango, the latest to be reported.
It's a heartbreaking cold case. Two daughters believing their mother walked out on them when she disappeared 45 years ago. But in this case, there's been an extraordinary conclusion. Their father finally showing police where he buried his wife in the backyard of the family home all those years ago. And today, her remains were dug up.
She's always been told her mother abandoned her as an 18-month-old child. But today, Colleen Adams's youngest daughter, Kay, finally learned the truth. Her mum loved her two little girls. The person who failed them was their dad.
These are the words of Kay. Today I have finally found my mother. After 45 years of hoping, we have found her. It's hard to say in a few words what I am feeling.
Police began digging for the remains of Colleen Adams at 9:30 this morning. A few hours later, around a metre below the surface, they made the discovery.
She laid in that cold grave and no one knew.
Police have revealed that when Jeffrey Adams led them to the burial site yesterday afternoon, here's his first display of remorse after 45 years of lies. Some told days ago, did you do it?
No, I didn't. I just hope that, she's well and enjoying life, yeah.
Others, decades ago.
And she just said, well, no, I just can't take any more. I had no idea where she could have gone.
Adams fronted a Kadina magistrate via video link this morning. The 70-year-old didn't apply for bail and will now get his first taste of life behind bars as he awaits his next court appearance on October 5. During the court hearing, prosecutors told the magistrate that Adams had admitted to the crime of murder. The investigation, though, is still far from over. Police will now be looking at when, how and why the young mother was killed.
Bus passengers on the Central Coast are in for more disruption as disgruntled busways drivers again go on strike. For 4 hours tomorrow, between 10 o'clock and 2 in the afternoon, they'll hold a stop-work meeting impacting Gosford and Wyong, along with several suburbs in Sydney.
Embattled farmers got a boost today. The major supermarkets announcing a 10-cent drought levy on milk.
While dairy farmers welcomed the announcement, they say the much-needed relief doesn't extend far enough.
It all started with this plea from a desperate dairy farmer.
I worked for $2.46 an hour. Something's got to change.
Shane Hickey from the New South Wales Northern Rivers region began campaigning for a levy of 10 cents a litre on milk. Today, it happened. Woolworths moved first.
This is about providing immediate relief to dairy farmers who are doing it tough.
Its 3-litre milk will now sell for $3.30 across the East Coast until mid-October, when a special range of 2 and 3 litre drought relief milk will hit the shelves, with 10 cents a litre going straight to struggling farmers. It was followed closely by Coles, who extended a levy on its 3-litre bottles to the whole of Australia.